Hey guys, it's your boy Aves coming to you with a video. Something caught my eye and I thought I'd point it out, and I think I'm going to be doing this a lot more often. So I caught wind of this article by All K-Pop. It's a news article website or whatever. One of the members of Treasure, complained about riding economy class. Well, allegedly. But we'll get to that. And I wanted to kind of talk about this just a little bit, but I'm going to read some of this article to you guys right now just to set some grounding as to what this is all about. But before I do, if you like the content that you see on my channel and you want to see more, please feel free to subscribe to my channel, Moonlight Antonio, where we give you reactions, K-pop, and inspiration from under the beautiful moonlight, as well as turning on the notification bell so that you can be alerted to my next upload. So this article here is coming from All K-Pop News. So here it is. Netizens get in a heated debate over comments made by a member of Treasure. The comment in question is this: "My body feels trashed after flying economy class for 6 hours." Now, I'm going to read some of this to you. So it says, earlier this week, one member of Treasure went live and caught fans up on his busy schedules. As the live broadcast was voice only, fans asked him why his voice sounded rather congested. The idol replied that he had a nosebleed and thus could not go live with video, which, that's no big deal there, right? According to fans who tuned into the live, the Treasure member made a following comments when fans asked him, "Did you get some sleep on your flight?" He replies, "Apparently all the flights were booked today, so we had to ride economy class for 6 hours, and I seriously thought I was gonna die, for real. It's not like business class is all that comfortable either, but now that I've tried economy today, my body's totally trashed because of that. Seriously, as soon as I woke up this morning, my body felt sore all over because we had back-to-back shows the day before, so I'm already hurting all over. But then because we had to ride economy, just wow. Even if we tried to wait for seats to free up, it was no use. That's why ... I'm skipping over ... because there's so many of them. That's why ... I seriously thought I was gonna die on the flight, is what the idol said. Okay, so it says the Treasure members' comments have now struck up a heated debate among netizens on various online communities. And I'm gonna read some of these comments. Now, I'm gonna give you my thoughts at the end of this, okay? So one of the comments says, "There are plenty of people who fly even longer distances to the US or Europe riding economy class. ... Who the heck are you to feel so high and mighty?" Another commenter said, "Most ordinary people ride economy class, whether they're traveling for vacation or for work." Another commenter says, "I get that his schedules are packed, but every other idol group deals with similar schedule, and you don't hear any of them," I'm not going to use that word, whining about how bad their flight was to the fans. Another commenter, which I actually agree with more than all the other commenters. This commenter says, "It's not necessarily that what he said is all that wrong." I totally agree with that. It's just the way he said it. "My body's trashed from riding economy class." What kind of phrasing is that? Does he normally speak that roughly? And then I think this is a different commenter. "Your fans probably flew economy class to see you perform." And this is the last comment. He's kind of whining. Most idols would just end it at "I'm tired." As a matter of fact, the article continues on. However, others felt that the idol's comments were being taken out of context and explain more of the circumstances surrounding the Treasure member's recent schedule. So basically, they were saying that he didn't say that he had a nosebleed from riding economy class for 6 hours. Went on to say that for nearly 2 months, the boys have been having to do back-to-back shows per day. So 2 shows per day, without much rest, and that there are some members who are really ill from the strain, and this time they had to catch a flight in the morning after the last show. So a lot of stuff's been going on, and that's why their bodies, it's not just the one member that complained. It's several of the members. And of course the article goes on and there's comments talking about the more clarified version. So I wanted to talk about that as well. Now, I do agree with some of these comments, but it goes to show not all idols, and these are my thoughts, no idol's perfect. I'll just put it that way. There's not one idol that is perfect at all. You're going to have these situations where idols are saying a little more than they should. And it's all right to have these thoughts in your head, but to say them out loud is not necessarily a very good thing, especially when you've got fans who are like holding you to this really, really high pedestal. And another thing, fans, let me just say this, fans need to be a little more understanding of the fact that it's impossible for some idols to be professional at all times, because fans expect their idols to be professional always. The standards that we hold them to, we don't really hold ourselves to, because if it was you, for some of you who are complaining about the way he said, what he said, y'all would say worse things because y'all are not held to that standard of idol, of professional. Y'all would complain about riding economy class. So it's only wrong that he's complaining about it because he's an idol, right? And again, the commenter that said that it's not what he said, it's how he said it, I totally agree with that. It's not the fact that he said something wrong, it's the way he worded it. It was kind of unprofessional the way he worded it. But again, some of you guys would probably say it the exact same way and would get zero flack for it. So this whole standard of perfection that people who are idols should say only professional things or say things in a professional manner all the time is not going to happen all the time. Again, this dude is tired. This kid's tired. So he's probably just saying this stuff haphazardly and not thinking about the way he's saying it. Like I said, I totally understand that he's complaining about it. He's tired. He's young. That's another factor to consider. An older idol who's been in the industry longer would not have done this. So you got to give him some slack because he's a kid. And I know people get so wound up when I say that a certain person is a kid when they're technically grown, but I'm sorry, he's a kid. He's a kid. So you got to cut him some slack. The last commenter that commented, and I quote, he is kind of whining. Most idols would just end it at I'm tired, but at the same time, some fans, I'm tired is not enough for some people. They want details. But then when an idol gives you the details, you get offended or upset because they said too much, quote unquote. So it's just like, no matter what happens, somebody's going to be upset by something. And again, he's a kid, and in this situation, a more seasoned idol would not have said this, but because he is not a seasoned idol, this happened. And yeah, you can say, well, Treasure's been out for 2 years, so he should know better, blah, 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 blah. No, you got to give him some grace. That, again, as I stated, even if he misspoke, y'all, and maybe it wasn't taken out of context by the netizens who don't believe it's out of context, you still got to give the boy some grace because, again, he's tired, he's exhausted. Maybe he wanted to spend some time with the fans and just hang out with his peoples because he wanted to, he wanted to hang out. He wanted to see how his fans were doing. People make mistakes, and if it wasn't, if that's not what he said and it was taken out of context, then again, it goes to show that we should really look more deeply into things before we draw conclusions. So understandably, the members have had to do 2 shows. Like he said, 2 shows per day, right? With little rest. So, it's... those are things to factor in, man. That's all I'm saying is I think we shouldn't jump the gun. And this is what I mean by jumping the gun, We always like to jump the gun and say things. We like to shoot first and forget about questions, Or the questions we do ask is, why does he talk like that? Is he so this? Is he so that? Why does he think that he's this, and then our questions become assumptions. Why is he so high and mighty? Why is he so this? Why is he so that? Maybe we wouldn't have to assume everything if we would just be more gracious and look into matters more. But yeah, the complaints are valid. I'm just skimming over. Yeah, what one commenter says, I think the complaints are valid though. Yeah, sitting for 6 straight hours is really bad for your body. A lot of professional athletes work hard to bring their bodies back to normal after flying for long hours. And honestly, I don't know if K-pop idols get that kind of treatment. Some of them use their bodies just as much, which is very, very true. Being an idol is kind of like being an athlete in many respects. Like, it's constantly, you got to go to the gym. You got to go, you got to make sure your body's at tip-top shape so that you can have the endurance to be able to handle these kinds of schedules. You have to be able to, and that's the thing. You wonder why some idols are losing weight so fast. Sometimes it's not just the diet. Sometimes it's not the diet at all. Sometimes they're actually trying to gain muscle, but because they don't get much sleep, it messes with their body in such a way that they can't gain the weight necessary, or they can't, things like that. And not sleeping also affects not eating well and things of that nature. So you got to take that into account as well. It's very stressful being an idol, and people sometimes need to stop shooting so fast. And I'm going to keep saying this. This is why the Leo situation became such a trash fire, because of netizens. And as much as netizens would like to say, oh, I'm not the one who did it. He did it to himself. He should have been more mindful. The backlash that he got is why everything fell apart. And as much as they like to deny that, it is the truth. This right here is proof of that. This right here is absolute proof of that. And reading this article is actually starting to take me back to a moment in recent memory where Onu was on a show. Onu was explaining that basically doing like concerts and stuff is way harder than going to the gym and exercising and doing all that stuff. He basically put it this way: imagine being in a gym and working out, but then doing it like all day. Like that's a Shiny World concert. That's an EXO concert. That's a Monster X concert. A BTS concert. ITZY concert. A Blackpink concert. aespa, LE SSERAFIM. That's a concert. For like this is what idols go through. So if an idol complains, who cares? Let them complain for a bit. They have rough lives too, They're idols, and half the time the idols don't even get paid until God knows when. And like we look at them as if their life is just so much better because they get to fly your business class and all this other stuff. But it's really not as pretty a life as people like to say. Oh, you shouldn't be complaining. You have a manager. You have a manager that manages the this, that, and the other. Some of us would be pissed to have a manager manage everything. So like I said, give these idols some grace. Stop being so freaking mad and angry at these people all the time. This year's gonna be one of those years where I'm just gonna tell it like it is. And if people don't like it, fine. But I'm not going to just not keep my mouth shut. When I see stuff like this, the double standard that we place on idols, that we refuse to place on ourselves. Because we're not in the public eye. Nobody has cameras or paparazzi chasing us down and watching our every move. You don't have dispatch calling stuff out that we do on a daily basis. No. We're regular, ordinary human beings. We're beneath the values that we hold our idols to, right? But let it be an idol, and they say one thing. Just like this one story I heard that I'm also going to talk about later on about the idol that was on TV, and he was talking about, if you're big and you want to lose weight, eat less. And people got so pissed off at him for telling the truth. For just telling the truth. Because nowadays, to tell the truth about, big people trying to lose weight, it's now seen as hate speech against big people and is seen as toxic, when the real toxic thing is body positivity. So yes, it is toxic. I will explain it in another video. I'm gonna explain to y'all why toxic positivity is going haywire, and now people are saying that there's no such thing as bad or good food unless it's poisoned or this and that and the other. Bull crap. No such thing as, anyway, if I eat a donut and I constantly keep eating it every day, I'm going to get really fat. And I'm going to not only gain weight, my health is going to decline rapidly. Hello, it's common sense. But we have taken common sense and turned it into something that is looked at like a dragon with 3 heads or something. Whatever. Common sense is not common sense anymore in today's time. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm going to make a video about that too later on. But yeah, just wanted to put my 2 cents in there. Yep, and share with you guys how I felt about it. So, let me know what you think about it. I have a few K-pop topics that I want to cover as well, like forgiveness when it comes to idols, which goes along with the standard of perfection that we hold our idols to. And it's just kind of funny that we don't, as fans, hold ourselves to the same standard that we hold the idols. We complain and talk about how they said something wrong, they did this, they did that. And what he said isn't even that bad. Like, literally, seriously, he's not like talking about, groping a girl or something like that. He's not talking about killing anybody. He's just talking about him being tired and complaining about him riding economy class. Now, that's just my thoughts on this, guys. I think that we should give him a little grace. He's in a, younger group that hasn't been around for like a long time. He's young himself. And he was tired, and he was, saying things that he shouldn't say when you're tired. So all these factors are something to consider and take into account. And maybe some netizens have thought about that, but at the same time, it's like the criticism, some of it's very valid, and then some of it is just like this commenter that said, are you trying to act high and mighty? I don't think it's a high and mighty thing. Regardless of what is expected of them, at the end of the day, they're kids. So, it just factors to consider. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. I will film some more stuff tomorrow, so look out for that. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. And remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more content from your boy. And it will be your boy Aves signing out. Peace. Bye, guys.